In this quick video guide, I'm going to show you how you can remove or hide the seams from a texture in Gimp and then apply it to a 3D software to use it as a material diffuse color or base color. So we're going to start with Gimp and then we're going to move into Blender to test the editing that we have done from Gimp. So I'm going to just use this texture here, and this is already been taken care of. So I'm gonna just show you from the beginning. I'm gonna close this and go into the web, and I'm gonna search texture. Now you can use texture in 2D or 3D if you want to create a pattern, something that can repeat over and over, like a tileable pattern or a tileable material effect. So I've chosen this one here because it's from RawPixel, which is a website that is going to give the image free. Since this is a CC0 image, it's open source and we can use it. So you need to register here. You can get the image in different size, but I'm just going to use the lowest resolution for this example. I don't want to have like really big, just to test if the technique works. So once you download the texture from RawPixel, we can go here in File, in Gimp. And again, Gimp is an open source software. It's a free alternative to other software like Photoshop, so you can download it, install it, and try it right away. So let's open the image first. Let's go to File, go to Open, and I've created here a texture folder called RawPixel. Let me just get it from here. There you go. And this one here is the image that I have downloaded. There you go. So I'm just gonna open it, convert it. So how can we tell if this image has seams or cuts, or if it just repeat many times well without seams or cuts? Well, it's a really easy operation. We need to go to the layer menu and go to the transform and offset. So this is the command. You also have a shortcut key, which is Shift Control O. So with the offset, we can just move the texture. So let's decide here, for example, to move it like 300, and again 300, or we can move it by half. So you can see now we can definitely, if we zoom a little bit, also we can definitely see those seams. So this is the point where the texture ends and then the other one starts. Now, if I change the edge behavior, I'm only gonna be able to see the background color, or I can also make it transparent. So right now I'm only seeing one repetition, one tile, but not the complete tile. It's just cuts of 400 times 228 pixels. So wrap around, make sure you have wrap around so you can see actually the seams where they're happening, and also we can now fix it. So I'm gonna say okay, and let's work with this. You can see it's not so high resolution, but that's fine, again, to make this example. So the best tool, there are also others, but I think the best one, or the most popular, or the most common, is the clone tool right here. So you click, open the clone tool. You can also press C to open the clone tool. And let's start to paint. Now, before we start to paint, you need to get a source. You need to set up a source. To do that, you hold Control and then you click with the left mouse. So that's my source now. And I can paint with that, perhaps right here. And I'm gonna paint over those seams. Now you can also adjust the size. You can make this bigger, smaller. So try to Control click and get some sources from other parts of the image where there are no seams, and try to paint with that. Again, Control click, and let's paint here. So be careful not to repeat the same point more over and over, otherwise it will be visible and it's just a repeated element. So you can see now I'm slowly hiding all my seams and cuts. So now it should look definitely better than before. You can continue here and hide it more and more. Okay, you can see here we have seams, so be careful not to go too near to the edge. All right, now when we finish, we're just gonna export this to a new image texture. We can use it here or in another graphic software if you want to do patterns and cover large areas by repeating the element more and more. But we're gonna test it also in 3D. So let's export it. So let's go to File, Export As. I'm gonna type here texture wallpaper 2. I'm gonna also change the format in JPG and save it in the same folder. So let's export. I'm gonna bring up the quality to 100 and export. Now let's get into Blender. And again, you don't need to use Blender. Blender is just an open source free alternative to other 3D software like Maya or 3ds Max or Cinema 4D. So you can use this or you can use whatever you want and create the material in a similar way. And if you're interested in Gimp or Blender, you can check the video courses in the channel, also the guides that we created and published in the channel. So this is to show you where the seams is pretty visible here, and in this other one is not so visible because I created a seamless texture. So this is good. You don't need to, you shouldn't see like cuts or seams repeating over and over, and also non-repeating elements over and over. So let's get started from the beginning. I'm gonna create a new general file so you have the standard cube here in Blender. And let's copy this to create two cubes. So Control C, Control V, and I'm gonna move this aside. And let's first create a material for this, and then we are gonna create also another one for this. So the first one will be with the non-fixed texture. So let's go down here to the Material tab, click on the base color right here, click on the image texture, click in the folder here and open the texture. So this is going to be the original texture and open image. Now we're not going to be able to see anything here about the material until we go up here and select the material preview mode. And there you go. Now we can see the texture. But the first time you're going to apply a texture is going to expand all over your 3D object. So you won't be able to tell if this has seams or not. So what we're going to do is go into the shading interface where we can manage the material, and we need some extra nodes. So this is the material right here. So when I select an object, this is going to be the material down there, and this is the texture that we just added. So we need a couple of more nodes in this editor. We need to go to Add, Search. Let's search for Mapping, and that's the first one. And then we need to search for Coordinate, Texture Coordinate, and that's the second one. So we link the UV into the vector, and then the vector output into the vector input in the texture node. And what we want to do now to increase the repetition is, or increase the tiling, is to set here a higher number. So let's set this to 4, and now we can see the seam right there. You can see it definitely, it's right there, and probably somewhere you're gonna see it also here. So this is because it's repeating the texture. It's showing the seams also. So what we're going to do now is go to this other one and create a similar material. So what I can do is get all this stuff here, do Control C, and go here and just delete the original material, and then Control V, so we can paste all the nodes. Well, it didn't paste all the nodes, so we can just paste also only these two. And let's also create you can create a material with a texture also from here. So you just click and drag this out, type image, and use the color, and that's it. And then we're going to bring in the vector, but we still need to open the image from here. So let's get now the modified image, which is this one here, texture wallpaper 2, and then open. Okay, now you can see that with the same exact mapping that we used before, and the same exact texture coordinate, but with the modified and correct texture, now the seams are gone. They're not visible anymore. So I guess the experiment worked. And this will be all for this video guide. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us, if you want to give us a thank you, you can join the channel as a supporter and check our other courses and guides that we publish. So thanks for watching and see you in the next.